am delighted to be back sharing this with you. Today, we're talking about designing calm systems. And we're going to be highlighting system from a place of deeper alignment with yourself, not the conventional way. We are not going to be working on your workflows and that all that needs to happen for you to feel in flow, but we're going to be shifting some perspectives that allows you to build a business that flows without you holding it together to evolve that business and ascend into your next level of leadership. And in this training, we'll translate peace into structure. We'll design systems, rhythm, and operational anchors that hold your business so you can focus on high-level leadership. So that you can focus on creativity and so you can focus on wealth creation. We're going to be taking it from the insight and perspective and shifts. So, once again, as you know, hello, welcome back. My name is Sharon Samuel Odigba, and if you're catching this as the first training and you did not listen to the release training, a quick reintroduction, I partner with 4-5-figure ambitious entrepreneurs who are doing great work, but they don't being the system holding the business together. I help them and you ascend your leadership, ascend to the confident CEO who freely naps on a Monday afternoon, who goes on impromptu multiple day trips without guilt while you scale to multiple 6-figure wealth. And if you feel successful outwardly, but internally, you know some things have to shift in the way you lead so that you can really expand for the next level of growth to your next multiple figure year, then this is the conversation for you. In the last training, we talked about release and how this is a very important foundation for sustainable growth. And in this training, we are going to be talking about systems. So here is what I promise. By the end of this training, you will have identified the 3 systems every calm CEO must have. You would have understood how structure supports your CEO identity and is not restricted. And you will have known which 1 to 2 structural shifts will create the biggest calm impact immediately. That is my promise to you. So let's dive right in. The first thing I want to share with you is the calm growth map. Right now, you probably have expanded as a CEO, but your business structure is still built for your previous capacity. That's what's happening. You probably have grown. You've outgrown your system. You've outgrown your business structure. And so there's a misalignment between you and your business. It's not because you're bad at sales, not because you're bad at marketing. It's not because you're bad at business. You already have proven that your work works. Now we want to step fully into leadership and allow our business move with that rhythm. Right? The release phase was mostly majorly about you, your tax, your business, roles, the roles and the CEO roles that you played in the business. And we released things mentally. We released your operational tires. We released things emotionally as well. So it was centered on you. Now we want to talk about your business, aligning with that expansion that you have experienced or you are right now experiencing. And that is the second phase. Because most CEOs, they optimize for control and not calm. And that's why your systems right now keeps collapsing on the growth. You're optimizing for, I've got to control this, I've got to control that, I've got to make this work, or I've got to be on all the time. It's happening consciously, it's happening even subconsciously sometimes. And you're not optimizing for calm, for flow, for things get to run even if I'm away for an impromptu 3-day break. And another aspect of the calm growth map is that busyness is not progress. This is a reframe for you. This is a realignment. Business is not progress. It is the byproduct of unanchored expansion. When we're trying to expand without our anchor being rooted in leadership, that makes business come to play. Business is a byproduct of an anchored leadership. So how do you shift this? How do we start shifting this? First of all, you need to understand that structure isn't restriction. It's what keeps your peace. It's what makes that, oh my God, I wake up to calm mornings. I make myself a fresh cup of tea. We don't do coffee in my world, sorry. But if you're a coffee lover, that's fine too. I make myself a fresh cup of tea or coffee and I go look at the sunset. I'm not rushed to go sit at my work desk. I'm not rushed to answer the 20 plus emails that have arrived because I know that my business is being taken care of. I feel calm. I can start my day anytime I desire if I'm not answering client calls on that day. And I know that my business is being taken care of when I'm off. Structure creates that. And it makes it intact. It keeps that intact. It helps you sustain that. Right? So if right now you're feeling that my business needs to shift, here's another reflection for you. When your business, do you still feel like you're holding the structure instead of being held by it? So let's reflect. We know that this is a reflection experience. The bootcamp is a reflection experience. And I really invite you, I call you up to your leadership. So where are you seeing the need for strategic leadership? For you to be held by the business and not have to be the one holding it all together. I'm just going to give you 1 minute and then we're going to continue. Ready? Take out your notes and let's journal. Awesome. Amazing. Now that you've clarified when your business is you're still holding on to, when you need structure to hold you, let's move on to the calm optimization reframes that we will need to take the shift from I'm holding the business, my business, to my business holds me. First things first that you need to understand is optimization is not about efficiency alone. Once again, it's about alignment. It's not how efficient your systems are. It's not only about that, but it's also about, am I in alignment with the way I'm running the business? Because the truth is, you are not optimizing your tools. You're optimizing your energy. You're optimizing for something that is deeper than just the business. What you're optimizing for is the leading angle to the growth that you will be able to experience in the business. And systems should feel like sacred boundaries, not cages. These are like the reframes and the shift that I want you to really experience before we dive in. Because Right now, we might be thinking of structure and system as cages that restricts you and puts you in this cage. But systems can be sacred boundaries that holds the legacy, that helps us work in alignment, that helps us optimize our energy through structure. So this reframe is very, very key for us to have as we dive into optimizing. And this is at this point, I would love to introduce the calm, raw, optimized lens. When you're trying to optimize, here's what you should be optimizing for. Optimizing for your energy. Remember, we talked about optimizing for energy. First of all, your focus should be on ease over effort. It should not be what can I do, but how more can I be held? You should lean more towards ease, more than effort, more than efficiency, or this has to run strictly by how much can be done. But it should run in flow. It should run with ease. And again, once again, it should be alignment over automation. It's not about trying to automate everything for automation's sake. So mounting up different workflows, you should align with why you are automating anything. Is this in alignment with my values? I know of entrepreneurs who hardly automate certain aspects of their business and they're at like high figures because it's not in alignment with the way they want to move. So when I say automate, when we talk about workflows and systemizing, I want you to put in mind that it gets to be in alignment. It gets to be in alignment with your values. If you don't want to automate every single bit of the process and you still want that touch point at some level, then you get to do that. How I apply this is, for example, in my delivery. If I want to deliver a resource that I would like people to request for, not because I cannot automate and give them direct access, but I want to have some touch point with them. Maybe I feel like this resource would need more touch point, or I would really love to hear from them. Then I allow for them to request for it. And I don't do that from some other things, right? So you get to automate based on alignment. It should be alignment over automation. And as much as possible, you should lean more towards clarity over keeping it complex. Having automation for every single thing might not be the best move depending on your business. Automating every client journey from when they come into your world to when they buy the high-ticket offer might not be the best move for your business. Or trying to complicate the process and like having like 10 steps before they buy, that might not be the best move. They probably just need 3 steps depending on how strong your messaging is, depending on the potency of your offer, depending on how great your content is to call them in. That's why front-end marketing, front-end optimization also assists in your back-end optimization. How you optimize in the front end will support you in making the back-end optimization very easeful and in flow. So these are the 3 lenses that you want to base optimizing your business on. Remember, ease over effort, alignment over automation, and clarity over complexity. How can you keep it clear? Don't try to be vague, because optimization is an art and is the heart of letting your business run from clarity and not just control. Now we're going to go into the phases of optimization, but I want you to reflect for a bit. Which part of your business feels heavier than it should? And how can we start making it lighter? So I invite you to reflect on this for 2 minutes or a minute, and then we can move on. Awesome. You're doing a great job, and I'm just so proud. Now, let's move on to the optimization phases. The optimization anchors is what I call this. And there are three main anchors of optimization, opportunities for you to optimize in your business. There's the visibility anchor, the delivery anchor, and the operations anchor. This really is the key three anchors. There are other micro anchors, but these are the three anchors that we will be walking through in this training. So let's take them one after the other. First off is the operations anchor. The backbone of every comp business is clarity in how things get done. And that's why we're going to be very, very strategic in how we're optimizing our operations. And most CEOs, they have systems, but not structure. There is no unified flow that sustains operations when they step away. So this is where you want to consider creating SOPs, standard operating procedures for your business. Because from survey responses I've read, I'm always behind. I need better time management. I don't know where to focus on. This is because you are not clear on the different steps that achieves a specific outcome. So a system is a series of processes that is set up to achieve a specific result. And a series of processes is made up of different steps, and multiple systems make up your operating system for the business, your standard operating system of the business, or standard operating procedures. And so it's so important that we have all of these pieces in place. Sometimes you probably already have a system for certain things. You definitely have that, but you've probably not stated that down and created SOPs to make it repeatable so that it gets to be easy for anyone coming in to replicate the results, not necessarily because they will be doing it in the exact same way that you do it. They are allowed to bring in their own juices, but there is a clear process and a clear outline for a specific result. So when you find out that you are feeling behind, or you are feeling like you cannot get away, it's definitely because there is no clear outlined standard operating procedure for the business to function with you or without you. Here's a quick question for you. If your business had a central operating rhythm, what would it look like? What would it look like for you and for your growth if your business had a central operating rhythm? A quick reflection. I'm not going to give you a countdown, but I want you to just write that down, and then you can reflect on that later, because I would like to invite you to work on this quick exercise. So I want you to list out your recurring weekly tasks. And this is definitely in your workbook. So this is an exercise that you probably want to work on now. And ask yourself, which of these tasks can be automated, which can be delegated, and which can be simplified? Which of the tasks can be automated? Can that task be delegated? And can that task be simplified? A quick exercise for you. And when you're ready, let's move to the next anchor. Good job for taking action on this exercise. Now let's move to the next part. The next anchor is your visibility out anchor. So you know that visibility is a very crucial aspect of any business. And this is an area where we have the opportunity to optimize because visibility is often where chaos can hide, right? Content, marketing, showing up, and it seems like we're throwing spaghetti on the wall and there's no clear process. Remember, once again, a series of processes makes a framework or a system, and a series of system or a series of processes or system makes up your standard operating procedure. And so your calm visibility is equal your systemized messaging rhythm, not spontaneous posting. There should be a clear outline, a clear process from when you gather content ideas to the creation of your draft to the scheduling of the content when they're created and then to the repurposing stage. There should be a clear process. And when it feels like you are all about content all week long, it's because there is no clear visibility anchor for your visibility. There's no clear process for your visibility. So the key is to schedule structure before strategy. So you have to put a structure in place before you start looking at, okay, which strategy should I leverage? Because a lot of strategy will work. So for example, if you're using social media, there should be a structure in place from that point in time where you are generating the content to the execution, because any structure will work for whatever strategy you're using. So if you have a structure in place, you can leverage that structure for YouTube. If you have a structure in place, you can leverage that structure for podcasting. If you have a structure in place, you can leverage that structure for Instagram. Structure should come before your strategy because your message can't flow through you if you're constantly reacting to the algorithm. So this is really, really crucial that we put attention to. Your messaging will not flow if you're constantly just reacting to the algorithm, to YouTube algorithm, to podcasting platform algorithm. You need to have a structure in place before you start saying, okay, what is the strategy for me to leverage to make sure that my structure works? Your structure must be an anchor for your strategy. Your strategy should fit into your structure, if that makes sense. So right now you're able to shift from I must show up more to my system makes me visible effortlessly. Once again, I said your strategy is not a problem. You've nailed your strategy, but perhaps your structure is the issue, and there is the opportunity for us to really dial in on optimizing our visibility angle. So, quick reflection for you. How can your visibility become a rhythm instead of a race? Instead of constantly chasing the algorithm, how can your visibility become a rhythm? That's a quick question for you that I invite you to really reflect on. And so we're going to take 2 minutes to reflect on that before we move ahead. Awesome. You did a great job if you truly reflected on that. And what start happening is you start to see where there is an opportunity for you to start creating more structure in contrast to just being too focused on the strategy, right? So the final anchor is the delivery anchor. And this is the most overlooked system when it comes to scaling. Our clients are held after they say yes. And for you, I know your offer is working. Your offer is top notch. And it's not the problem of your offer. It's probably might be the problem of how you're delivering. You shouldn't have to remember every step of the delivery journey. Your systems should. And your calm delivery system really will build trust. Let's talk about trust first of all. When people know that when they come into your space, there is a red carpet client experience waiting ahead for them, that already builds trust, right? Because the same thing will be consistent for every clientele that comes into your space. And that also creates retention. People say, oh my God, this is Stella. She's amazing. And she gets the experience. She has nailed the experience. I come in and I know exactly what I'm doing. She predicts what I want before I say them. And this is an opportunity for us to optimize our delivery anchor when it comes to building that calm, scalable business that is in alignment to our values, in alignment to how we actually want to grow the business. And there is the opportunity for referrals as well. When people know that there is structure in place for the delivery, when the client knows that your delivery is well structured, they trust that the same experience will be given to the next person that comes and the person they're able to refer. So that builds trust, it builds retention, and it builds referral. Because one area where I see an opportunity for us to start optimizing for karma leadership in our business is inside of our offers. It's how we're delivering the offer. Your offer is great. You don't need to add more. You don't need to add more support. You just need to optimize and expand your capacity. And so you're able to shift from I'm exhausted from serving to my structure serves with me, right? So this does not mean that for containers where you have to be the one delivering the support, you are not like front center delivering that, but then your structure should serve alongside you, not putting all of the load on you, not you being exhausted from serving. So if you find out that you're tired from serving, this is an opportunity for you to really dial in on your delivery anchor. How much support are you giving your clients? And what is the mindset behind that? So if you are thinking that if you don't give your client 10 hours, they would not get the result, then that is an opportunity for us to refine the type of clientele we're calling in and our trust in them to achieve the result and our trust in our offer to help them achieve the result, or the trust in the process that you've put in place, or the step-by-step framework that you have, that you are supporting your client to achieve result. Because by now you already have track record of success rate. Clients are coming in, your work works. So that is an opportunity for us to clean up some of this mindset leaks that are coming up that's preventing us from really serving at our highest standard, so that we are not exhausted by our client, the delivery of our offers, but we're energized by it. The delivery should make you energized. It shouldn't make you feel exhausted at the end. If you tend to feel exhausted by the end of the week or after serving your clients, then that is an opportunity for you to step up in leadership. It's a call up into leadership. These are the 3 delivery anchors. And so I want you to reflect quickly, where in your client journey do you feel friction, and how can your structure bring flow? All right. How can you allow structure to lead alongside you? When your client journey, do you feel friction? Do you feel like there is an opportunity for you to step up in leadership? Maybe it's the number of hours that you're giving your clients. Maybe it's the time spent in delivering on that project. Maybe there is no clear structure in place for you to deliver that result. Maybe that is not truly clear for your clients to walk through, and there's an opportunity for them to be able to upgrade the level of transformation that you provide inside of your space. So I would like you to take 1 minute to just reflect on this. Where in your client journey do you feel friction, and how can structure start to bring flow? Now that we've considered the three different anchors to support you in designing systems that help you lead like the CEO that you are becoming, here are the three main reframes that I want us to take away from this. First of all, energy should come before strategy. Like, this is one of the reframes that is my goal to really dial in on, because I believe that structure should express your natural flow, not replace it, right? All of the structure that you're putting in your business should not be a replacement to how you naturally will lead the business. So, what does this mean? It means that whatever strategy that we are integrating, that we are bringing into the business, should be in sync with how we lead naturally. It should be in sync with our energy level. It should be in sync with our ideal lifestyle. You don't want to be automating every single thing, just like I said earlier, if it makes you feel icky or if it makes you feel inhuman. Of course, there are opportunities for us to look at some of those feelings that we have and really gauge if they are truly the right mindset that we have. But when you find yourself feeling naturally icky for a lot of automation in the business and you're desiring that one-to-one connection, that deeper connection, then maybe minimize automation in the business. So that is helping you put emphasis to energy before strategy. right? Before you integrate a new strategy, this is what I really invite you to do. Before you integrate a new system into the business, before you create a new workflow, remember what we talked about system being a series of different processes and a process being a series of different steps. And your multiple system makes your operating the standard of operation for your business, your operating rhythm. I love to call it the confidence, your operating rhythm. Before that is put in place, you should be honoring your energy. That is a very key component that I want to really overemphasize. Secondly, systems are extensions of your nervous system. They should create safety and spaciousness. Your system should not feel like it is heavy on our nervous system, right? It should not feel like I am integrating the system, but I still feel withdrawn. I still feel energetically unaligned to this. Your system should hold your nervous system. It should keep you safe. Yeah, like your system should create safety and spaciousness for you. You should know that if you're able to walk away, your system is taking care of things. Not that you're like, oh my God, I've set up the system, but it's still looking like something deeply complicated that I always have to be interfacing. I always have to be killing fire, right? Your system should create safety and spaciousness. You should know it in the depth of you that this is what I'm creating and this is what is given me. It's given me back my space. It's given me back my peace of mind. Because when we feel safe, that is when we should be delegating. When you trust your systems, you scale. Don't delegate the work until you feel safe in your nervous system. It will feel you feel safe in your body to delegate. Create systems until you actually feel safe, until you feel safe and you know you can trust your systems. That's why I really invite us to look inwards and to really see where are the places that we still feel nervous system unsafety. We should be nervous system safe with our systems because that is how we actually will be able to scale. Most of the reasons why we feel a lot of clutter coming in when it comes to building system is because we do not feel safe in our nervous system. We're not nervous system safe and we feel like the system will cage us. But it's time for us to release that energy and really feel safe again because that's when we're able to scale successfully. And the truth is, you don't fix chaos with a new workflow. You fix it by upgrading the energy that built it. We fix it by going back to which energy was I operating from when I built this? Which energy was I operating from when I created the strategy, when I built this workflow, when I built this existing system that I want to refine? Because the truth is, you already have systems in place. Sometimes, of course, we might not have really put structure to that system. We might not have created SOPs for that system, but there are existing system in place. And if we do not feel safe with the systems, that means the energy we were operating from when we created it was not the real actual energy we should have been operating from. And so this is an opportunity for us to upgrade on the energy that built that thing or that system or that workflow that we put in place. Right? It's an opportunity now and a call to really look at how we can upgrade on that energy. So quick reflection for you. If your business operated at the same calm frequency as your best self, what will look different tomorrow? Right? If your business was operating from that safe space, the nervous safe space as your best self, because when you're safe in your nervous system, you create as your best self. You create at your highest level and you create from a deeper sense of knowing that what you're building is actually what you want. So what would it mean for you? What would it look like? How would tomorrow be different if your business operated at the same calm frequency? Would it be calm mornings where you wake up and make a cup of tea instead of scrambling to your work desk to check whether that email went through or that client is paid or all of the other things that we tell ourselves, all of the energy that we're not supposed to be aligned with? Or is it being able to close your work by 3 p.m. and stop any client's communication when before you used to drag calls and conversation to 11 p.m. because there were no clear boundaries with your clients? Like, how would you lead differently tomorrow if your business operated at the same calm frequency as your best self? I invite you to reflect for a minute and then we can wrap things up. Good job for reflecting. As you know, these are the SEO moves that really allow us to create from depth and more intention. So let's look at how we can integrate this. Ask yourself, what is the one system or process that you want to redesign so your business feels lighter again? I want you to write that down. We would be looking at integrating this, right? What is that one system or process that you want to redesign so your business feels lighter? That one system that you can get to redesigning starting tomorrow. Then write this down too. How can you make calm the default in how your business runs daily? How can calm be the default? Then thirdly, which system, operations, visibility or delivery, as we've talked about earlier, will you prioritize next? What is calling to you to prioritize next? Is it your operations? Is it the system for your operations? Is it the system for your visibility? Maybe that's where you're feeling a little bit icky. Or is it the system for client delivery? Maybe your offer needs to be restructured to support your energy more. Maybe you are not clear on certain boundaries and you need to review your contract. These are intentional moves that we can start making starting today. So write this down so you can integrate this and implement in your business. Of course, there is that opportunity for us to implement this together, because this is where everything begins to compound. When you build calm systems, your business starts expanding beyond your ends. And that's exactly what we do inside the Calmfident SEO Accelerator program. This is the container that your next best self is desiring to be in. Your next best self is desiring to be activated in, to really come alive in. And I am delighted to be able to invite you into this space. Because in the accelerator program, we refine your operations, we automate your flows, and we redesign your leadership so your structure reflects your success. So the structure that you put in place can effectively reflect the success that you right now have, not restricted. And if you know that your next level requires calmer systems that sustains growth while you rest, I would love to invite you to a sales call, because that is where we'll be able to explore how the accelerator will help and support your business and what that will look like in your business. What the camera implementing this optimized phase in the camera blueprint, how would that look like in your business? I would love to invite you to a sales call, a sales conversation. Click the link right below to learn more about how to book your sales call if you know that your best self is ready for this shift. And I cannot wait to support you inside that space. Remember this, optimize isn't just part of a framework, just like the first part, release, isn't just part of a framework. It's how leaders like you reclaim their energy, their revenue, and their identity as the CEO. You don't need a team to feel like a CEO. I would overemphasize on this. You don't need a full calendar to prove your value. You don't need multiple hours to prove that your work works. You need rhythm, you need space and spaciousness to breathe. And once again, my question remains, what if 90 days from now, or what if 30 days after the accelerator, your business looked nothing like it does today? That's what will start a shift in the accelerator. We shift your identity so you can wake up to calm mornings, so you can freely nap on a Monday afternoon, knowing that your business is taken care of. It's been such a delight to serve you in this space, and I look forward to the next training because we are going to be focused mainly on your CEO identity in that next one. So be sure to come catch up. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to connecting with you in that next training. Bye for now.